Disney's Bambi. One day in the forest, a bunny named Thumper was spreading exciting news. "A new prince is born," he shouted. In a nearby clearing, a mother deer was curled up with her newborn son. The forest animals gathered around to welcome the new prince. "This is quite an occasion," said Friend Owl. "It isn't every day a prince is born." The mother deer named her son Bambi. As days passed, Bambi began to explore the world around him. There was so much to discover in the forest. Every day, Bambi's friends showed him new things: birds, butterflies, and flowers. But as Bambi bent down to smell a flower, he found himself nose to nose with a skunk. "Flower," said Bambi. Thumper giggled, but Flower became the little skunk's name from then on. One day, Bambi's mother decided it was time to show Bambi the meadow. The meadow was so open and green that Bambi darted forward, but his mother leaped in front of him. "There may be danger," she warned. Once it was safe, Bambi heard a ribbit and followed the sound to a pond. Bambi looked at his reflection in the pond and noticed a smiling girl Fawn behind him. "That's Fawn," said Bambi's mother. "Go on, say hello." "Hello," Bambi said shyly. Fawn giggled and began to chase Bambi around the meadow. Bambi was happy to have met a new friend. Suddenly, a herd of stags galloped into the meadow. The biggest stag stopped and looked at Bambi. Bambi asked his mother who the stag was. "He is very brave and wise. He is the great prince of the forest," answered Bambi's mother. The stag was also Bambi's father. Then a gunshot sounded, and all the animals scattered. In all the chaos, Bambi lost his mother. Instantly, the great prince was by Bambi's side. He reunited Bambi with his mother and led them home safely. Early one morning, Bambi woke to find the forest covered in snow. It was Bambi's first winter. Bambi found Thumper skating on a frozen pond. "Come on, Bambi," called Thumper. Bambi ran toward the ice. With a sudden splat, Bambi slipped on his belly. Then Thumper tried to teach Bambi how to balance on the ice, but Bambi slid them both into a snowbank. The snowy days seemed endless, and there wasn't much food left in the forest. "I'm hungry, Mother," said Bambi. "Winter won't last forever," she answered. Soon, Bambi noticed the first signs of spring. A small patch of grass. Bambi was nibbling on the grass when he heard a loud gunshot. "Run for the thicket," shouted his mother. Bambi ran as fast as he could. When he reached the thicket, he said, "We made it, Mother!" But Bambi's mother wasn't there. Then Bambi heard a second gunshot. As Bambi cried, the great prince appeared before him. "Your mother can't be with you anymore," he said softly. "Come with me, my son." Together, Bambi and his father walked deeper into the forest. Before long, flowers began to bloom, and Bambi had grown into a handsome buck. Owl saw the friends and said, "It won't be long before you're Twitter patted. Nearly everyone falls in love in the springtime." Then, three friends assured him that it wouldn't happen to them. But Flower saw a pretty skunk, and he walked off with her. Thumper met a lovely bunny too. Lonely, Bambi stopped to drink from the pond. He saw a familiar reflection in the water. "Don't you remember me?" said a sweet voice. "I'm Fawn." Fawn had grown into a beautiful doe. Together, Bambi and Fawn played around the meadow. Now Bambi understood what Owl meant. He was so happy with Fawn from then on. Bambi and Fawn were inseparable. One morning, Bambi awoke to the smell of smoke in the forest. In the distance, a fire was burning. The great prince told Bambi, "It is man. We must go deep into the forest. Hurry." News of the danger spread to all the animals. Many scurried underground for safety or raced further into the forest. As Fawn searched for Bambi, hunting dogs jumped at her from the bushes. "Bambi!" she cried, scrambling up a steep cliff. The hounds snapped at her heels, barking ferociously. Fawn was trapped. Bambi sprang out of the woods and charged the dogs with his sharp antlers. He attacked one dog after another until Fawn was safe. Bambi escaped the dogs, but as he leaped after Fawn, a gunshot sounded. Wounded, Bambi tumbled to the ground. Fire raged toward him, but he couldn't get up. Then he heard the great prince. "You must get up, Bambi," exclaimed the great prince. Bambi staggered to his feet. "Follow me," said his father. "We'll be safe in the river." Soon Bambi and the great prince were on the edge of a waterfall. With nowhere else to go, they jumped off the waterfall and leaped toward the rapids below. Bambi and the great prince finally reached the island where Fawn stood waiting. They watched the forest home burn to the ground. They knew that once man was gone, all the forest animals would bravely rebuild their homes. Autumn turned into winter, and soon it was spring again. "Wake up, friend Owl," said Thumper with his bunnies. "It's happened," exclaimed Flower to his baby. The forest animals gathered around Fawn and her two fawns. "Prince Bambi ought to be mighty proud," said the owl as the fawns opened their big eyes to greet their friendly visitors. Bambi was now the prince of the forest, and as he and his family began their lives together, Bambi thought of the lessons he hoped to teach his children. Lessons he had learned from his mother and father long ago. The end.